Tobela ba gaetsho re a le dumedisha mo Mzansi Fundis. Ba babedi ba. Maybe Lufuno Salwala o Artome mo Lufuno Salwala ka nto tse di diraetseng ko FNB last week. Re a kwishisha so re tlola talekoko ra tlo monnela. Lufuno o fole sa mangere. O kree dipilisinyana ba o thobe mmele. Bafethu?
Shafira?
Can't complain.
Interesting weekend. Nedbank Cup. A run of not losing in any way in Stellenbosh ended. Chippa United came unstuck against Orlando Pirates. We start in Gqeberha. Orlando Pirates versus the co-coaches plus TDJ.
TDJs. You must respect Rotmaniaga. So yeah, look, I'm disappointed from Chippa's side in the way in which they approached the match. You can probably mention maybe they were being emotional about whatever it is that they were doing, that was done to them.
The emotions are very high.
Yeah, but you have to know at the stage of the game, Jorge, it's not only going to be on the field of play, people are going to use off-the-field stuff to try and unsettle you, especially if you were going into that run of form that they were going into, you know. Utabo and Takopo, they've been solid and they've been doing something very solid. But I think also we need to also, look at the absence of one of a big player that they have in their squad. You know, you look at the fact that they've lost that match. They were not supposed to lose that match. They were supposed to apply themselves. You look at the fact that decision, the goal that Orlando Pirates came about, and you ask yourself, like, okay, are we giving it as much scrutiny as we should, as we've been doing all the other goals, you know? Because you go back and you look at that, there was a young handball nyana somewhere.
You cannot say young handball. Chief, it was handball. That ambulance from Tembisa, Tito, handled the ball. Because NSC, and we'll give you this. You look at when Pirates take the lead through a free kick, right? Yeah. Dlamini scores a beautiful free kick, and they then celebrate. And then the second goal comes via a handball. Chippa players, rule number 1, do not stop until you hear the ref's whistle. Yeah. That's rule number 1. But that changes the whole game for Chippa because now you're going into halftime 2-0 down. Yeah. But it was such a glaring mistake of a handball. That has a huge impact in terms of how the game then turns out.
Yeah, I can need you, Tampoza. What's about one of the key points that in terms of concentration? You look at that whole entire match for Chippa before they even scored. Concentration is like it wasn't on the game. And it was discredit to the supporters. And we bring it back to those 2 goals there. Tokoru and Dlamini scored a beautiful free kick. The controversy on that handball, it then brings a conversation to say, are you able to concede and come back into a game? We have to look at the league again and say, in the games they've played, how many of the games have they came back from?
Cogs, we come to this thing. There's 2 very key things that happens for Chippa United. 1, the absence of Goodman Musele in their team, because I believe he was a pivotal member of their team. And he was very influential in the way that he plays. Number 2, the ref's decisions, because you look at the handball that's not given. Chippa players stop. You look at the second yellow card to Evanga. And all those things played quite a big part that led to the demise of Chippa United.
The serenity to accept things that you can. So I cannot change the ref's decision, and so I have to focus on Goodman Musele because this is something that we can, go down and dissect it properly. You look at his absence, very important. They were having a field day, middle of the park, Tito, ambulance, Tembisa, nearly freeway. So you look at that and you look at the time in which Goodman got out. You take it back, he got injured when they were leading. Chippa was leading and then he got injured and then they conceded. So it tells you, ever since he's been out, they haven't been the very same Chippa that we've known. So it shows you the importance of the man in the match. And potentially, yes, the handball played a huge role.
A huge role.
A huge role. But yeah, the absence of Goodman played equally a bigger role because you look at that and his absence, and then you see a different Chippa United completely.
Mara SC a re tle mo maikutlo ba gaba man ba bila man o touchlining coach ba bolela ba dirang, and then he transferred that into the field. The emotional part of that game, how did that go?
The emotions the important bolo. You can't come into a game also hyped up already ka hore mama ngo tlo etsang go tlo etsang. And it was clever from the Pirates bench, I must give it to them. Because now it took away the element ya Chippa le quickness babon.
Yeah. Because Evanga was the niche.
Exactly. And
the man was his presence was felt.
If had they kept their cool with an effect, Yamotoswana Evanga, he could have caused so much damage into that Pirates game. Because he was up for it. You could tell from the very first minute, this guy wants this game.
Yeah, no. Ba inyaka ba sa inyaki. Putata ki uri. Ref's decisions are becoming critical, and we will see that in a game against Stellenbosh and Mamelodi Sundowns, Cox.
Yeah,
Man of the match, Belema.
You know, look, when we're talking about referees and we're talking about the decision, man of the match was the referee.
The man of the match was Kabelo Morena. How did Kabelo Morena get to be part of that game?
You look at Divine Lunga coming, you know, with that challenge. That's a send-off. That's a send-off. There's no excuse in the world that would say, I wasn't focusing on anything. As an official, you ought to be focusing more than that.
No, but prior come for hamstring. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, but that's hamstring does not mean football. And you're still the man that's supposed to be looking at what's happening. So, Divine Lunga should have been out. You look at Morena that got in.
Oh, Emma got Divine. Retobo got Divine. Troka Medzi. Kabakalar, 20 Sundowns. Oh. Champions of the Premier Soccer League, DStv Premiership Mamelodi Sundowns after the break by Aishu.